I think that's what we can do in Latin American cinema, what we can do in cinemas that are not Hollywood. We can flip history on its head. And when you do that, what we think of history becomes different. You realize that history has only been told from one side. My name is Ciro Guerra. I'm from Colombia. I'm the screenwriter and director of Embrace of the Serpent. It's a film about an Amazonian shaman and his relationship with two different explorers that visit the Amazon, and it's a journey into Amazonian spirituality and an adventure film. As soon as we started developing the project and we came together with the indigenous communities of the region that we shot, we realized that what would make the film unique and special would be to give them the protagonism, to tell it from their point of view, because that's the part of the story that hasn't been told. The film is also inspired by the images that the explorers took. They are very specific film, black and white, photographic plate. And when I saw those images for the first time, they were very striking, because what you see there is an Amazon that is completely different than the Amazon that you have seen or that you have in your head. It's an Amazon that is completely devoid of exuberance, of exoticism. And when I went there, I realized that it would not be possible to give an accurate portrayal in any sort of film or video or picture or whatever of what the colors of the Amazon are. And what you see in the film is an imagined Amazon. But the Amazon that people can imagine will certainly be closer to the real Amazon than what we could portray. The scene is inspired by events that Theodor Koch-Greenberg, who is the original inspiration, describes in his journals. The indigenous people would just go in his boat or explore his boxes and take things, and he would call them thieves. He would get really angry. And it would be difficult for him to understand that private property has no meaning to them. The idea of something belonging to someone is ridiculous to them. And I think it's really thought-provoking, We wrote this in the sense that it would provide an idea of just the size of the cultural shock that happens when these cultures meet, but also it will give everyone a position that you could relate to. So it's a complex issue. It's not about lecturing who's right or who's wrong. Nobody's right and nobody's wrong. It's just two different worldviews coming together. But that happening is the essence of the conflict of the film.
Su sistema de orientación se basa en los vientos y las estrellas. Si aprenden a usar la brújula, ese conocimiento se perderá.
In the end, I had to give up one of my favorite scenes in order for that scene to be in the film. But now I didn't have the knowledge of how important that scene was until the film was shared with audiences, And in the end, I knew that the scene was important in terms of what it communicated to the audience and how and it's a scene that audiences really appreciate, because I think cinema should be unsettling. Cinema shouldn't be reinforcing your already established point of views, but giving you new tools to see the world in different ways.